Well, for more on this, we can speak with John-Allan Namu, a journalist in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. John, thanks for joining us again. This decision was announced a few hours ago. Tell us what you're seeing on the ground and hearing from both Odinga supporters and Kenyatta supporters.
Well, from Raila Odinga's camp, it's pure ecstasy, lots of celebration, a sea of humanity poured out into the streets in the aftermath, in the immediate aftermath of that ruling. And the mood is quite positive, not just in Nairobi, but in other parts of the country that are supposedly strongholds of Raila Odinga and the NASA coalition. In Uhuru Kenyatta's camp, a very muted response to this petition result, to this petition verdict. Other than the very strong statement delivered by one of his lawyers in court, there really hasn't been much else to be able to judge which way Uhuru Kenyatta's supporters will be taking it. Although there has been a statement attributed to a senator who is supportive of Uhuru Kenyatta, asking why the judges did not consider all of the evidence in the petition. Of course, that was the preamble of the Supreme Court's President and Chief Justice David Maraga, that they weren't able to go through the entirety of the evidence given the short timelines. So it's a mix of joy and perhaps muted consternation and silent acceptance of this result in Uhuru Kenyatta's camp, but very, very joyous for Raila Odinga's supporters.
Okay, so Kenya is set to see another presidential election within 60 days. Tell us, though, is the country prepared for the logistics and for the cost of yet another 2 months of campaigning and then a fresh election that will require, again, very serious security?
Well, that's a big question right now, because the IEBC had indicated before the election that it does not have the funds for a rerun. But Treasury, the Ministry of Finance, had given its assurance that those funds would be availed. And now that members of parliament who competed in the last election were sworn in, the legislative amendments that would be needed to be able to create a budget for that could be provided notionally. I think the bigger looming question is about the legitimacy of the Independent and Electoral Boundaries Commission, given just how scathing that ruling was in regard to their handling of this election. Already, Raila Odinga has called for the arrest of some of the officers within the Independent and Electoral Boundaries Commission. That throwing into uncertainty what the future is for those people there, because they'd be the ones essentially who are handling this election. But given the shortness of the time, it would be difficult to both replace the IEBC and hold a fresh election. And that's going to be the one question that a lot of debate is going to focus around in coming days.
Okay. John-Allan Namu joining us live there from Nairobi. Thanks so much for that.